going to go over all the games happened on Friday night. Let's talk about the first game, the Sixers beating the Wizards. This game didn't really matter. The scores, the big news here is Joel Embiid getting hurt, hyperextending his knee, and I watched the video. He was grabbing his knee for a while and then was able to get up and walk on his own. At this point, we don't know how bad the injury is. It could be really really bad. It could be okay. He just gonna miss just a week because guys have played the game, finished the game, and torn their ACLs. So we don't know. We don't know how bad the injury is. The MRI should be coming out soon. And if you own Joel Embiid, it's really tough. If you want to sell high or buy low, it's you just do it on your own risk. Before the MRI came out, uh, I don't know. Joel Embiid has been having a great season. Obviously, if he plays, he's a top three player in fantasy. Can give you average 30 points and 12 rebounds. And this year, he even brought the defense. The efficiency has been really good, and he even bring the steals right, averaging 1.3, 1.4 steals. There's another concern that maybe it's not too bad. He missed 3 4 weeks, but after he comes back, is he gonna be the same? So if I own Joel Embiid, and let's say he's out, he's gonna be out for a month or so, and he's going to be and my team is somewhat struggling, I would for sure sell him for a top 20 guy. Like I don't think I would even hesitate. Because with the extra month of production and with Joel Embiid come back, he might not be the top three guy that he was, and he's gonna miss out even more games, right? So I think just wait for the MRI result first, see what happens. If he misses out a month and a half, then you make a decision on what to do with Joel Embiid, because the upside, we can sell the story. The upside is he's gonna be a top three guy, but guys coming back from pretty bad injuries, we don't know. Right. So just waiting for MRI, see what happens with Joel Embiid. And in the short term, Dwight Howard and Tony Bradley, if you need a big man, both guys, it's worth picking up. With Dwight Howard being the priority. But if Tony Bradley gets a minute, this guy put up pretty big stats whenever he gets minutes. Dwight Howard, he's a pretty big rebound guy and could be a good blocks guy, but the efficiencies could be tough, especially the free throws with Dwight. But he's worth a pickup in the short term, and I think. Some guys gonna benefit, like a Matisse Thybulle. He only played 21 minutes, but his per minute upside is there. With Joel Embiid out, if once Ben Simmons comes back, I think we don't know how Doc Rivers gonna do the rotation, right? Matisse Thybulle maybe doesn't get all that many minutes with Joel Embiid missing, but he's a guy, I would monitor for sure if he gets more minutes. Guys like Shake Milton also have some upside, but it's mainly just the points for Shake Milton. Every once in a while, he's gonna pop off, and guys like Tobias Harris should also, guys like Tobias Harris, Seth Curry, they all should get a usage bump. So if they are done on the waiver wire, sure, grab them, see what happens, right? Danny Green also as well. If you need some defensive stats and threes, he give you those here, pretty good, like a full assist for a guy like anybody on the waiver wire can give you 3 4 assists. That's pretty good. That's not something to overlook. And really good game here. But it's against the Wizards. He's also a streamer in my opinion. Danny Green. Tobias only played 22 minutes. 14 and 8, a steal and a block, still great. Tobias Harris has been like a rock in fantasy over the years. He's just very consistent, giving you those like close to 20 points and 7 8 rebounds, which he's averaging this season. We know he's not a big defensive guy. Point 0.8 steals and point 0.8 blocks for him is actually not bad. Point 0.8 blocks is really good, and 51.5% from the field and 88%, just super efficient. Good stuff on Tobias. Seth Curry, okay game here. Worth the pickup with Joel Embiid missing time. Everybody should get a usage boost, in my opinion. Matisse Thybulle, in only 22 minutes, this is what he can do. He give you 3 steals and a block and 4 personal fouls. If it wasn't for that, he's gonna get more minutes. So I would take a look at him for sure. Shake Milton also shot the ball really well, 18 points. If you want to pick him up, sure. On the Wizards side, Bradley Beal was questionable coming in. He ended up playing. Only 13 shot attempts. They got blown out, and the minutes are quite low. So, okay, he should be better than this. Most nights should be the scoring champ, in my opinion. 19 points, nothing else really. Bad from the free throw line. Russell Westbrook continued to be bad from the free throw line, but everything else he has really turned it around. Like the field goal has been great for the season. Is he inside of 200? I don't even. Yeah, he's still not inside. He's still not inside of 200. But the field goal is back. He's shooting around 43, 44% for the season. In the beginning of the season, he was shooting 38%, 39%. 10 for 19, really good stuff. 25 points, a steal, 8 assists, 5 rebounds. I don't know. It's just really good stuff from Westbrook lately. And I think he's just been healthy. And, when he's healthy on this Wizards team, he's going to put up big stats. Wagner, 15 minutes. In 15 minutes, he got 4 steals and a block. He and Robin Lopez split the minutes while Alex Len did not play. Yeah, wouldn't touch any Wizards center or even stream them. Rui Hachimura just bad. 21 minutes. Yeah, if he's still on your team, drop him. I wouldn't even stream him at this point. The minutes were low for him after the All-Star break. He's just not established himself on the team yet. Although this is also a blowout, we understand that, but 21 minutes is really low. Davis Bertans only got 10 minutes. Yeah, gotta move on. The minutes, Danny Advia has been getting quite a few minutes lately. He got 28 minutes here, the most on the team. But yeah, doesn't really have that one category can help you in fantasy, in category leagues. Let's go on to the next team. Denver escaped the win, 103-102, beating the Grizzlies. Grizzlies have just been good this season. Hang close with a lot of teams. Where is their rankings? The Grizzlies. They're 10th without JJJ all season. If JJJ can come back, God knows when. They pushed the timetable back for a few weeks. The joke is everybody gets injured a back before he does. And now looking back, it's just funny how back in December he said, or early January he said, my return might sneak up on you. That is just so. Not sure why he said that. Maybe because because there was a week where Grizzlies the whole team didn't play due to COVID, so that also pushed back his timeline. Everybody thought he was gonna be back around the Martin Luther King, but what? At this point, you hold on to him. I mean, he's still gonna be out until the next month. So I mean, you have held on to him all season. But if you need to be in the playoffs, on the edge, and your team, your IR spot is you need the IR spot for somebody else better than JJJ. Yeah, sure, you gotta drop him. God knows when he comes back and how much he's gonna contribute. On the Denver side, Will Barton, another great game, 21 points, shot the ball really well, 3 steals and 4 assists. I think Barton is a guy you want to take a look, maybe pick him up and see what happens. After the All-Star break, he's been fresh. Even before, he's been playing quite well. So I would take a look at him. Michael Porter Jr., with everybody back, Paul Millsap is back. Gary Harris is still out, but it looks like he has established himself as a starter on this team and playing consistent 30 minutes. And this is what he can do. A block, 21 points, good efficiency, 2 threes, 9 rebound. And really don't turn the ball over. Not going to give you any assists, but he really won't turn the ball over that much. So good stuff from Michael Porter Jr. Jokic, number 1 guy. And he also had an injury this game. I read it. I don't know exactly what it is, but able to finish the game. But the top 2 fantasy guys, you just want them to be healthy. But 28 points, really strong game from Jokic. I don't think anybody's going to overtake Jokic the rest of the season. Should be the number 1 guy. And it'll be interesting to see where he gets drafted next year. Maybe top 1 out 2. Monty Morris, 31 minutes, 5 assists and 2 steals. Looks pretty good. But the upside is pretty low for him. But he's getting the minutes. Jamal Murray, 32 minutes, which is horrible. 1 for 14. I guess our friend Dylan Brooks did a good job on Jamal Murray. 1 for 14. Maybe a buy low from him, but he was shooting the ball really, really well last month or so. So, it's okay to have a bad game like this. Still got you 5 assists and 2 steals. So that's pretty good. And Paul Millsap came back and played 21 minutes. Put up pretty good stats. He could be a streamer. Can come off the bench, play around 25 minutes. The Grizzlies, Dylan Brooks continue to, he really struggled last game. Had like 8 points or something. shot the ball pretty horrible. This game still bad, 40% and 20 points, 4 threes. No defensive stats this game, but usually over the years, like I would say, hey, drop Dylan Brooks, but this season he really picked it up on his with his defense, averaging 1.4 steals and point 0.5 blocks. So I would hold out to him if you don't care about field goal. He's been putting up pretty good stat. And Valanciunas high minutes again, while Kyle Anderson just lose all his minutes. I think Kyle Anderson is a drop. JJJ is still a month away, but playing 18 minutes, I would drop him. And I don't think the upside is that high with him. Valanciunas, great game, 14-11 and a steal. The rebound is great. The field goal is great. It's just if he can bring us more steals and blocks. I mean, I don't really have expectation for him to get, but the blocks numbers is pretty low for him this season. Let me see where his ranking is at. He's ranked 76 on the season in 9 category leagues, only averaging 0.8 blocks. So if he can move this up to 1.5, maybe not 1.5, but 1.2, 1.3, his ranking could be jump. It could be a top 65, top 60 guy. But good stuff on Valanciunas the past 2 games. Desmond Bane started, only played 17 minutes. Ja Morant 16 and 9, but 1 steal. Just been pretty disappointing season for Ja. Started off the season really well, hurt his ankle and came back, never been the same. DeAnthony Melton got 23 minutes, really good line. Whenever this guy gets minutes, sure. But he's been teasing with us all season. Not him personally, but it's the coach, Jenkins, giving him 25 minutes one game and 15 minutes the next game. So you can definitely stream him, but roster him full time could be tough. Because some nights he won't give you anything. Brandon Clark 30 minutes, pretty good. It's time to pick. Him and Kyle Anderson, their minutes is up and down. They're sharing the minutes. So both could stream, but one game, one guy could play 25, 30 minutes. The other guy plays 20 and 15. That's the situation with all the guys on the Grizzlies. Although Valanciunas' minutes has been up. So that's interesting. Gorgie Jane just didn't play. Same thing with Grayson Allen. Before he got hurt, he was playing 30+ minutes. Now he's out of the rotation. Just weird stuff on this team because too many guys are good. The coach is gotta figure out who to play, matchup based, so they don't have a defined rotation at this point. The next game is the Cavaliers getting destroyed by the Pelicans. The big news is everybody's back. It's a party. Larry Nance Jr. is back. Kevin Love is back. Darius Garland is still out, but he should be back soon. Larry Nance Jr., if he's out there, pick him up. I don't expect him to put up the level of he was averaging 2.4 steals before he got hurt. Don't think that's gonna continue, but should give you good enough value on this team. But the rotate is weird. They started Allen, Kevin Love, and Larry Nance Jr. So Larry Nance Jr. is the small forward. I guess he was this game. So if he plays as a small forward, his rebounding is gonna suffer as well. Kevin Love 10 minutes. If you want to pick him up, sure. Be my guest, but I just don't know. For a guy like him, how much production? I mean, he's gonna for like a period of time. Maybe he put up explode for 25 points and 12 rebounds. You can sell him if you can, but he's gonna miss out so many games. It'll be a headache to him, to be honest. But if you want to take a fly on him, sure. But I'm not too excited. Jared Allen only took 6 shots. They got destroyed. He was a minus 33. But in 33 minutes, he had 1 steal and 3 blocks, 7 rebounds. That's good production. That's good enough for me. Isaac Okoro, I think it's time to drop him. He was playing quite well, really, really well actually before the All-Star break. The past 2-3 games has just been horrible. 1 for 8, yeah, time to drop him. Colin Sexton shot the ball pretty badly, 19 points and only 1 assist. 3 steals is nice. Let's see what Colin Sexton. He mainly just can give you pretty consistent 23, 24 points and nothing else. But let's see. The defensive stats for him, steal numbers has been good for him this season. I would say a pretty good, being a surprise. He's 95th ranked player, averaging 1.2 steals and 4.3 assists. He's only shooting 80% from the free throw line. In his career, he's been better than that. So, he has room to grow. He can be a top 70, 80 player the rest of the season. That's tough. I mean, you're not gonna find a guy on the waiver wire can give you consistent 24 points. So, pretty good stuff from him. Yeah, nobody on the Cavaliers is interesting to talk about. On the Pelicans, easy game for Brandon Ingram, 28 points, a block. The block numbers for him is high, pretty high. I just really want to see him getting those steals, averaging 6.7 steals on the season. If that moves out, he could be a top 25. Who knows, top 20 guy. Crazy efficiency this game. Zion Williamson, no need to play him high minutes. Easy win. And Steven Adams. This is what this man can do. Can grab a lot of rebound. A lot of rebound. So if you want rebound, every once in a while he can pop off. Eric Bledsoe, oh boy, drop him. He has had 2 tough games in a row, and he had like 2-3 good games before the All-Star break. And obviously the Pelicans, I think they had 6 weeks between this week and last week. That's why a lot of people picked him up. But it's pretty good I would feel pretty good to dropping at this point. 0 points, 3 assists, and nothing else. Lonzo Ball struggled, but doesn't really matter. The team got the win. 3 points, 6 assists, a steal and a block. Okay, the minutes is low, but Lonzo should be better than this most nights. And because it's a blowout, everybody got playing time. Nickeil Alexander-Walker 23 minutes, Carol Lewis Jr. 23 minutes. Those 2 guys, when given the minutes, they could have some upside. But if nobody gets traded, I wouldn't stream them or pick them up. Let's go on to the next game. It's the Miami Heat beating the Chicago Bulls. Bulls are struggling. Look, can they make the playoffs at this point? They had a good stretch, and now it's just they're losing every game. Jimmy Butler, just another great stuff, man. My man Jimmy, where's he ranked? Just putting up big game after big game. He's ranked 13th on the season already, after the early season struggles with COVID and some injuries. 9 for 17, good from the free throw line, 8 assists, 3 rebound is low for him for the season, 4 steals and block. Jesus, I mean, if you want to sell high on Jimmy, if you can get who can you get back? I mean, I don't know if I would even trade him for Jason Tatum. They might just end up around the same area. Jason Tatum with more scoring, but more threes, but Jimmy does everything else better. I don't know who I would trade him Jimmy Butler for. Vucevic, maybe? But those guys, their value are pretty similar in categories. Depend on what you need. If you don't like Jimmy's, the categories he's giving you, sure, you can get equal value back. But otherwise, I think maybe he can be a top 13, 14 guy the rest of the season. Doesn't think that's too crazy to say. Kelly Olynyk, 33 minutes, 9 points and 9 rebounds. Pretty good stuff. And his minutes, he's been playing 30 minutes. I think it's time to pick him up. See what happens. The production has been good. But if he fall off, especially with the minutes, if he doesn't get 20, 25 minutes, if he doesn't get 25 plus minutes every night, then you drop him. Duncan Robinson, his minutes was very weirdly low last game. 30 minutes, that looks about right. Only a 3 streamer. And Kendrick Nunn, the minutes is lower and lower and lower every game by game. Only 26 minutes here. I would hold on to him for another game or 2, and I would be ready to drop him if the production, if next game he still gets 25, 26 minutes, I would consider dropping him and pick up Trent. And also depend on what you can get on your waiver wire, right? Goran Dragic, great game, 25 points, 5 assists, 7 rebounds, no defensive stats. Sure, he's a streamer in my opinion. I wouldn't roster him full time. Tyler Hero, only 23 minutes. It's tough. I think all those guys, Kendrick Nunn, Goran Dragic, Tyler Hero, you can stream them for sure. All of them, with Tyler Hero being the best option in my opinion. But he played the lowest minutes here. I don't know why. Weird stuff from the Heat's rotation. Let's go on to the next game. The Orlando Magic getting destroyed. That's no surprise. Everybody is out. Okiki getting 27 minutes. Still in the block. Not too interested in this guy. But with all the injuries going on, sure. Stream him, stream Aminu, but Aminu only getting 23, 24 minutes anyways. But he's a pretty big rebound guy throughout his career. Sure, you can stream them if the waiver wire is really thin, and if they have a back to back. Vucevic should be a top per game basis, should be a top 12 guy, first rounder moving forward. But there's obviously risk with him. People getting worried that hey, Magic have nothing to play for. Are they gonna play Vucevic? I mean, I wouldn't worry too much. There's just so many things in fantasy, like the injuries, the minutes. Just just write them. If you can get eco value back, I wouldn't trade him for anybody else. 26 points, 9 rebound, 3 assists, good stuff. Michael Carter Williams, he was playing really well before this game. Really struggled hard. I would still keep him. See what happens. Obviously, Cole Anthony's got to be back at some point, but we don't know. He's still without a timetable. Maybe that's another month. Who knows? Yeah, everybody's there. Evan Fournier, Aaron Gordon. If he once the minutes are back up, I will pick him up. He should be the second guy on this team after Vucevic. That fantasy wise is pretty good. This season he really upped his assists. I think averaging 4 assists this season. So hopefully he can pick up where he left off before he got hurt. On the Spurs, because it's a blowout, everybody minutes is somewhat low. Keldon Johnson, beginning of the season he was really really good. With the COVID, with the injury, he really hasn't been putting up the level of production he was putting up. He's ranked 129th. So at this point, I'm not really too high on this guy. The Spurs, they do have a lot of games left in the rest of the season because they missed a few games due to COVID. So if you want to keep him, sure. But I don't think he's a must roster at this point, in my opinion, with all the guys back as well. Trey Lyles started, we thought with Eldridge out, maybe he's a pickup, but he only played 12 minutes. Just weird stuff. Jacob Poeltl, he's a guy you must own. I don't know who's better with him and DeJounte Murray, but Poeltl might be, for the rest of the season, he might be the best fantasy player on this team due to his block upside. Anybody can block you 2 shots is probably top 50 in fantasy category leagues. Did not block a shot here, but he didn't go on to the free throw line. That's good. 9 rebounds, 6 assists for a center. That's really good. A steal. Must roster. Derek White, finally an okay game, 17 points. But for him, I mainly want to see him giving us the assists, the steals, and the blocks. That should be where majority of his value come from in category leagues. In points league, Derek White, I don't know. He may not be that good, but in category leagues, he could be a beast. Just want to see his defensive stats. And good just to see him playing 25 minutes here. So if he's out there, grab him, see what happens. I mean, we don't know how good he's going to be, but he does have like the top, his game fits fantasy really well. So he does have like top 60, top 70 upside. DeJounte Murray struggled shooting the ball, but 6 assists, 6 rebounds, 2 steals, 17 points, good enough. Lonnie Walker still got 25 minutes. I think I really like Rudy Gay with LaMarcus Aldridge out. So, but he only got 20 minutes here. I wonder if it's because the blowout. Maybe if not the blowout, he can get 25 minutes a night, and I think that's worth rostering. His game, he can put a bunch of scoring. Pretty efficient guy, can give you some steals and blocks. So I would take a look at him. At least monitor him. If he gets 25 minutes, he could be good. And because of blowout, all those guys getting 70, 80 minutes on the Spurs. Let's talk about the next game. Oh boy, the Rockets. Our friend Kevin Porter Jr. Wow, if you picked him up, congrats. This guy is good. When given the opportunity, can put up big stats. 8 assists. He had a really good assist game last game. 27 points, a steal, 2 blocks, 3 rebounds, 1 3, and he didn't even shoot the ball that well, but he took 25 shots. I understand everybody's out, John Wall, Oladipo, but those guys gonna be in and out of the lineup, and him and Christian Wood gonna be the number 1 and number 2 guy on this team, so they should have unlimited usage and opportunity, in my opinion. And the news came out, Eric Gordon is also out, so damn, everybody out. So Kevin Porter Jr. And also I think Kenyon Martin Jr. also worth a pickup at this point. He had a pretty good game last game and this game. Both guys, if you can get for Kevin Porter Jr., if you can get a consistent top 40 guy back, I would do it. This might be a sell high moment. I don't think he's gonna be this good every single game. Could be a sell high. Package him and another guy for a top 30, top 20 guy. I think this is a good time to sell high on him. He's gonna struggle a lot of the games. It's just the first two games has been really good. He's a must roster, obviously, but maybe a sell high. It won't be this good all season, right? He's ranked in category leagues after he only played 2 games, but 24th ranked. If you can sell him for a top 30, 40 guy, I would do it. If you can get him for Chris Boucher, I would do it. But yeah, I just don't know if the level of protection gonna be this high. Maybe he can. Maybe I'm wrong, but I think this is good. If you want to sell high on this guy, this is the moment. Package him and another guy, because the next game he's gonna struggle, right? He won't put up this level of the stat. He's averaging 20 points, which could be a possibility. Like he could average close to 20 points. 9 assists is way too high. 2 steals and 1.5 blocks. He's a pretty good defensive. He could give you a bunch of defense, but not this level. So yeah, but both him and Kenyon Martin Jr. are worth the pickup. He's a must roster, not worth the pickup. Sorry, Kenyon Martin Jr. also he's worth the pickup. 15 points, 10 rebounds, 3 steals, and a block against this Utah Jazz team. Sure. Jason Tate, also another guy I like. Even Sterling Brown, all those guys getting 30 plus minutes. Those guys are you can stream them. Jason Tate, Sterling Brown, stream them. And when Daniel House comes back, he's also worth streaming. Could give you a bunch of defense and threes. And the news is Wood should be back next week. So yeah, this Rockets team, wow, what a year. How big of a difference 1 year can make, right? Last year they were in the playoffs. The entire roster basically changed. Harden, Westbrook, PJ Tucker, all those guys are gone. The era is over. On the Jazz side, Bogdanovic, 15 points. 7 for 8 from the free throw is really good. Worth streaming for points only. Royce O'Neal, really good game actually. 10 points, 11 rebounds. If you don't need points, sure, he's worth a pickup. He's pretty valuable in my opinion. If you don't worry about the points, because he averaged 7-8 points, but he can hit like 1.5 to 2 threes a game, some threes, some rebound, and some defensive stats. Good game here. The minutes is high for him every game. Has a pretty established role on this team. Rudy Gobert, pretty good game. 6 blocks against this bad Rockets team. Good stuff from Rudy. Donovan Mitchell, wow, 8 assists and a steal. Good stuff, but for the season, Mitchell still not cracking top 50, ranked 68th for the season. So the guy was getting drafted probably around 35. So yeah, I don't think he'll be inside top 40 this year, maybe next year, unless he can get to the free throw a little bit more and give us more steals. 1.5 steals will push him inside of top 50. But the steals for him this season has been pretty low. Although he has definitely picked it up, averaging 1 on the season now. Mike Conley, a great game, 20 points, 4 assists and a steal. He was dealing with some hamstring issues. Hopefully he can just be healthy, and I think there's a good possibility he's gonna miss, a lot of back-to-backs coming down the line. Joe Ingles still getting 25 minutes, didn't do much, and Jordan Clarkson only 20 minutes, put up 15 points. I think most nights he should be getting 25 and can give you 16, 17 points pretty comfortably. Let's go on to the last game. The Indiana Pacers losing to the Lakers without AD. The news came out AD is going to be out for another 2 weeks. So it's very frustrating. But he should be back soon. Just want him to come back and healthy and start contributing. The guy I still view him as a top 5 guy in fantasy. So, On the Pacers side, McDermott, if you need some points and efficiency, he's the guy. Has been playing pretty high minutes. Sabonis, 1 block, 8 assists, 14 rebound, 20 points. Good stuff from Sabonis. Miles Turner, 1 steal and only 2 blocks. He struggled against this Lakers team, Lakers defense. But 1 steal, 2 blocks, good enough. And his ranking is still very high due to his insane block numbers. Right, 15th ranked player, averaging 3.3 blocks on the season still. Good stuff. Justin Holiday struggled 2 for 11. He's still worth rostering in my opinion. 5 points is, the minutes is still high, so you still want to roster him. But I think with all those guys returning, he might lose not all those guys, just one guy specifically, Karis LeVert. If Karis LeVert is out there on the waiver wire, you want to grab him. Malcolm Brogdon finally had a good shooting night. 29 points, 7 rebounds, 6 assists, and a steal. Should be a top 40 guy moving forward. And TJ McConnell, before the All-Star break, the last game he played, maybe not the last game, but he had 10 steals. Right, the value is still there. If he played 24 minutes, he put up good value. The assist is low, but 2 steals and a block, 8 points, 7 rebound, good stuff from TJ. Still a must roster in my opinion. Jeremy Lamb, out of the rotation almost at this point, 15 minutes, not interested. On the Lakers, LeBron, only 3 rebounds, 10 assists, and still good stuff. But we know LeBron, at this point, fantasy wise, just ranked 38th. This is probably where he should be. The counting stats, the points, the assists, the rebound, all good enough, but not a lot of defensive stats and a really bad free throw shooter. This season, actually shooting 69% on high volume. That really hurts your team. Who had a good game? Kyle Kuzma. 24 points, 13 rebounds. He's a guy worth streaming. Montrezl Harrell only got 32 minutes with Marcus All out. So I think he's worth streaming, but I'm not too interested in either guy, to be honest. On this Lakers squad, nobody's game is that fantasy friendly, Dennis Schroeder had 35 minutes, had 4 steals and a block. Sure, you can stream him, but I'm not too excited. On most nights, he's giving you some points and assists, but negative everywhere else. That's it for all the games. See you guys later.